are at Viking very excited to say that we are back cruising. We started ocean cruising out of Bermuda about 2 weeks ago. I believe we're on our third cruise now, and we've got Iceland that just started on Saturday. So we are back officially cruising as well on board our beautiful Viking ocean ship. So very, just great news for us. It's great news to hear about Royal Caribbean and the success that they've had. I know all of us in the cruise industry are cheering each other on as we get back to sailing. So very excited to be here. And, what I thought I would start out is talking about how we returned safely to cruising and start out that way and just kind of give you a little bit of a quick overview. One of the benefits of Viking is the small ships. Our ocean ships are only 930 guests, all identical sister ships. So we've been able to really focus on creating policies, procedures, health protocols on board those ships that would be consistent across all 6 ships. But we've also got, of course, our river fleet. We've got 72 river ships, and having that small ship experience there is exciting for the guests, but it's also a benefit for us from a health and safety protocol standpoint, again, because we're able to do the little things that's going to allow us to provide a safe environment for our guests. Now, whether you're on a Viking Ocean or Viking River ship, we have no inside staterooms. On the ocean ships, it's all veranda staterooms, so there's no shared air between the staterooms. We've got the latest ventilation systems as well, the UV technology. But we've also, even on the river ships, there's no shared air with all the stateroom categories that we've got from, of course, the ocean view up to the verandas. Even those ships do not have any type of shared air system. So that's been a big health and safety investment right there. And the filtration systems that not only what Viking's using, but as you just heard from Royal Caribbean and the other cruise lines as well. And I have to say just a shout out to everyone in the cruise industry, because we all work together. A lot of people think of us as competitors, and we're really not. In times like these, we come together to put together policies, procedures, and health protocols that are going to ensure the safety of our guests, whether it's on Viking or on a Royal Caribbean or Princess ship. It's all about the safety of our guests, and we're all in this together. We brought in a 3-star Rear Admiral, Raquel Bono, as our Chief Health and Safety Officer. And so she has been spearheading all of these policies and procedures on board Viking that I'm going to cover here shortly. A lot of it you see some of the other cruise lines doing as well, but we've also gone above and beyond. And one of the things that we've done is we've actually built a PCR laboratory on all 6 of our ocean ships. And this is an industry first, and no other cruise lines out there have built this. We felt like one of the best barriers or best ways to stop a virus in its tracks is to be able to do consistent tracing or consistent testing, I should say. So we do the non-invasive PCR saliva test. We collect the samples from the guest and from every crew member. We have the capability of testing daily. Every crew member and every guest. Right now, we're doing that. We foresee it possibly going to every other day, whatever the conditions would warrant. But we're able to process those results in the laboratory and get those results back within 3 hours on average for all of our guests. We have contact tracing methods as well on board. But this is really the gold standard in the industry of making sure we're ensuring another layer of protection for our guests. And doing this. This has worked extremely well so far. We've heard positive comments from our guests on our first Bermuda cruises, as well as, as the Iceland cruise is going right now, that they don't feel like it's invasive. It's really, again, giving them assurance that we're doing everything we can and going above and beyond. When we look at everything that we're doing, and I'm not going to go through everything, we've got a dedicated webpage on Viking.com that you can go to and see everything that we're going to be doing on board, from smaller group transfers from the airport to the ship, smaller groups being processed or being able to check in. Also contactless systems for our guests. We're going to time it to where, based on arrival times at the airport, of bringing guests to the pier, doing testing before they board, constant temperature checks, social distancing on board, especially in the dining room and the restaurants on board. So all these little things add up to a really, what we think is the safest place to be in the world is on a cruise ship right now, believe it or not. So we feel like we've gone the extra mile, as well as the other cruise lines have done, to ensure the safety and health of our guests. Now, again, one of the things that we are really excited about is being that, welcome back to the world. Hopefully you've seen our commercials on TV by our chairman, Torsten Hagen. But it's all about the excitement of returning and cruising, and again, sharing the world with our guests and allowing our guests to really immerse themselves. And that's what the Viking difference is all about. And just sharing a couple of the new destinations that we have just rolled out, and I wouldn't say new, but new in a different way, because with Iceland, the land of fire and ice, we're doing a circumnavigation of Iceland, and that's a new way to approach it versus the typical 2 or 3 ports that have been in the past. Now you get to circumnavigate. We've had so much success with this itinerary. We added additional sailings, but this has been a big seller with our guests, and has sold out. I believe 13, 17 sailings have sold out now. We started Bermuda cruising again a few weeks ago. The Bermuda is different in that we're flying our guests to Bermuda. They're embarking the ship there, and then we're cruising out and back into the island, and you're spending the really every day on on Bermuda, and being able to explore this beautiful island, instead of those 2.5 days of going from the U.S. mainland over to Bermuda and back. This has proven very popular with our guests as well, and the first few sailings have been sold out. Both of these itineraries, Bermuda's going up through September, and Iceland is going to be sailing all the way into October. And then we decided, because of that success, we decided, where else could we sail that would really be a great welcome back to the world? And we looked at Malta. And so we've got a series of 3 different itineraries in Malta, taking you to the Adriatic coast and exploring several ports and beautiful cities in Croatia, Dubrovnik being one of them, one of the true jewels of the Adriatic. We're doing a Greek Isles focused itinerary out of Malta, which is very exciting and is sold extremely well, with an overnight in Athens. But experiencing the Greek Isles is a great way to go. And we've really been able to capture again that pin-up demand that's out there, and bring our guests over. These Malta sailings are selling quite well. These go all the way up to October. But what we're doing is also following the country's guidelines. So Bermuda, Iceland, Malta all require fully vaccinated Americans to be able to arrive into their country. If you're not fully vaccinated, they're going to turn you away at the airport. So all of these cruises are operating under the country's guidelines that we are sailing from and to, and it's going to again be part of the the conversation right now up until the end of September, where we require, in these cases, of course, into October, the requirement to have fully vaccinated guests on board. Now, we don't allow anyone under the age of 18 on board Viking. That's one of the Viking differences. So no children under the age of 18 on board. So again, our guests have to be fully vaccinated when they travel. And then finally, the third itinerary that I mentioned earlier that we're now doing is more of a traditional Western Mediterranean out of Malta, going all the way over to Barcelona, but having an incredible day in Taormina and sitting in the Greco-Roman theater, as you see here, looking out at Mount Etna. It's absolutely spectacular view, and one that I definitely will never forget as the sun was setting the time that I was there a few years ago. Now the rivers. This is what we're known for, and of course, the rivers, we're so excited because today is the first day we will be sailing on the rivers of Europe. We are starting our Douro River and our Portugal River of Gold itinerary today, so very excited about that. And then as we get into July, mid-July, we're going to welcome back some of our French river cruises, starting off with Paris and the heart of Normandy. Of course, Audrey Hepburn famously said, Paris is always a good idea, and there's never been a better time than to go right now and explore Paris and the beautiful Normandy area. And then one of my favorites, and of course a guest favorite, is the Rhine. And so in the mid-July, we're going to be starting up in the Rhine Valley and operating between Amsterdam and Basel, exploring this UNESCO World Heritage Site of the Middle Rhine and these incredible castles, a castle every mile, just a spectacular day. So the river cruising's back, and we can't wait to bring back the remaining ships on all of the rivers of Europe August 1 moving forward. So we're very excited again to be back on the rivers of France and here on the Rhine by mid-July. And then I wanted just to mention because this question gets brought up all the time, and that is Christmas markets. And Christmas markets this year are going to be spectacular, as they always are, but this is one of our biggest sellers remaining for this year on the rivers of Europe is the Christmas market itinerary. So if you are out there and you're thinking about a great holiday getaway, this is the best way to do it from the comfort of a river ship. These Christmas markets in all these incredible cities in Europe are just really an incredible experience. It's an emotional experience for a lot because it's so festive and it's so different and unlike anything that we celebrate here. With these being in all, of course, the old town squares and things, it's just such a unique way to travel during the holidays. And so this has been one of the big sellers this year for Viking. And then I just want to mention briefly here the very exciting news that is on the horizon, that we're going to be starting Great Lakes cruising in May of 2022 on our brand new expedition ship, which will be launching in January. It's going to start down in Antarctica and then reposition up in the summer. So the Great Lakes has never seen a ship like this, 378 guests, absolutely spectacular. With that Viking difference being brought to the Great Lakes, we offer 3 different itineraries, incredible opportunities to see wildlife and visit some of the national parks in Canada and some of the beautiful towns in America there, especially Mackinac and Mackinac Island is definitely going to be a guest favorite. So very excited about that. And then finally, the Viking Mississippi, the ship's being built down near New Orleans right now, and she's going to be launching in August of 2022, and we're going to start river cruising on the mighty Mississippi from St. Paul all the way down to New Orleans. We've got 4 different itineraries, all packed in with some great experiences for our guests, and we can't wait to welcome this ship on the Mississippi, but also bringing that Viking experience and that Viking difference and that brand to the Mississippi River. This ship is a game changer, absolutely gorgeous ship, 386 passengers. Again, all veranda staterooms with these beautiful verandas, but spectacular accommodation. Very, very excited about that. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you. But again, thank you for having us. We're very excited to be part of this great talk today and the excitement of getting back to travel and bringing back our guests to the world.
Thank you, Richard. That was amazing. I could see in Patty's eyes the excitement. I think she's probably going to book something by the end of today.
Did you see me writing down all the information and the dates?
Let's go, Patty. I'm ready too.
I wanted to share some feedback as well. We have one of our travel advisors has one of their members that's actually in Iceland right now with Viking, and they sent us some feedback this morning that I wanted to share really quickly. They were the first group of passengers on one of these boats in 15 months. They said that the whole crew, as well as all the passengers, were just giddy with excitement. So just a really exciting, a really good vibe. And that even, all of the little villages that they visited, the people were so excited, were so welcoming. So it was really exciting to get that feedback. And, I think we'll continue to see that as we return.
It's an emotional time for the crew. The crew truly love what they do. And I'm sure I speak for all the cruise lines crew out there. They love what they do. And it's going to be emotional for those, those first timers back on, for them to welcome. It's going to be a great moment and one I know they'll never forget.
Absolutely. We have another member direct question that came in, a member that's interested in the Danube for September. And they want to know if all of your cruises are full. I know this is a question that we get a lot.
No, there's still some availability in September, in October. Like I said, I think the uncertainty of when was Europe going to open, I think a lot of guests decided to hold off and book to 2022 or go to the Christmas markets, which really starts in November. So there's some space absolutely available here and there, September and October. So I'm sure once you speak to your AAA travel advisor, they'll be able to find a date that meets your needs and the accommodations that you're looking for.
And a quick follow-up question that I have, 2022, I've heard it's really, really filling up for next year.
Yeah, 2022 is unreal. We're seeing record bookings, this far in advance. We're seeing guests book longer voyages. We've seen a little bit over 50% increase in guest booking back-to-back cruises on our ocean. voyages. So very rarely do our ocean itineraries ever repeat the same itinerary. So it's perfect for back-to-back opportunities. So we're seeing a lot of guests booking longer voyages, back-to-back voyages, even on the rivers, combining some of our rivers like the France's Finest, which is a combination of our Paris and the heart of Normandy, as well as the Lyon and Provence. So lots of great opportunities out there to extend your stay. And that would be, another thing I would say is we've seen an increase in guests wanting to book pre or post land extensions. They see the importance of really lingering in a destination, if that's the right word, and being able to fly over once, that long flight, and take advantage of being there and really immersing themselves in that destination a little further.